Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Jet channel. And today I'm talking about Marathon Digital Holdings. Now, as you know, I made a video about this. I think it's about a week and a half to 2 weeks, where I talked about a 20,000 US dollar investment that I've made. It's sort of done a lot better than I thought it would. Right now, that amount is, I think, worth around $35,000 right now, because Mara has gone up significantly. I bought my, I think it's like, where is it? I have a tracker here. I bought 2,000 shares of Mara at about $8.20. I bought 5 December 25 $10 leaps at a strike price. Strike price $10, $600 per contract. About 5 of those. Those contracts are worth $900 at the high point today. They were worth 10. They were worth 1,000 at the high point today, and those shares went up to $16 at the high point, sitting at like $15.60. So I've made about 80% on this investment so far, and I have not sold a single share, and I've not sold a single leap. And I'm going to talk about why that's the case and why I'm interested and super bullish on this. But as always, you see above you, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all socials. And also, this video and every video that I make is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. If you sort of want one of those, you need to consult a licensed financial advisor. I'm not giving that sort of advice in this video. I'm just documenting my journey and bringing all of you along for the ride. Make sure you do your own research and your own due diligence, because this is your money. It's your hard-earned money. I'd hate to see you sort of put your money into something that you don't believe in, that you don't have conviction in. I'm going to explain why I have conviction, and hopefully that sort of inspires you to go out and do your own research as well. But as a reminder, Mara or Marathon Digital Holdings, ticker symbol MARA, is a Bitcoin mining company, right? They're setting the pace for the entire Bitcoin mining industry. And as a result, they are completely tied to the price of Bitcoin. As a reminder, as you can see here on the chart, the Bitcoin price has somewhat had a bit of a pullback in the last few days. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it. We're sitting here around the 30,000 value or $30,000 mark. We almost sort of broke out to 32,000. We've had a bit of a retracement since. That's somewhat healthy because we bounced off the 24,750 line back in June 15th, about 3 weeks ago, and we sort of rocketed up to $31,000 on the news of the Bitcoin ETF being filed by BlackRock and other bullish things like, Citadel and our enemies coming into the crypto market as well with their own sort of offering for an exchange. Now, once again, in my opinion, Bitcoin is sort of the crux and the fundamental building block of all cryptocurrency. Sort of it has spurned off Ethereum, and Ethereum has spurned off a ton of these other altcoins. So in terms of my conviction in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin holds the highest weight, then Ethereum, and then altcoins. And the altcoins I select are those in the top 20. Atom is one. I've talked about the others. I won't really go into it in this video, but I really believe in the Bitcoin cycle. I believe that investing in Bitcoin in the short term is the right move, and that's sort of how I've aligned my portfolio. I have about 50 to 60% of my crypto holdings in Bitcoin, probably 20 to 30% in Ethereum, and the rest in alts, and some in speculative assets, etc. And of course, as you know, cryptocurrency is somewhat speculative. It's still not fully mainstream. When it is, you won't see the sort of gains that you do see right now. And we are still sort of, at the tail end of a bear market. We're about to be in a bullish market. It's been about a year since inflation has really been a big concern. We've seen inflation come down with the Fed sort of raising interest rates. They sort of tapered all of that. They don't really need to increase it that much anymore as well. And that's positive news for Bitcoin, right? So we're seeing Bitcoin move sort of in the right direction. We still have a long way to go to sort of test all-time highs. Those all-time highs came back in October and November of 2021 when Bitcoin hit 69,000, right? It went up a little bit beyond that, but 69,000 was really that peak back here. And our goal in the next cycle is to sort of break past that and break sort of, probably kind of come back down slightly, come back up. And over the next couple of years, maybe even a year, break that all-time high and sort of go trend toward 100,000 eventually. Now, the reason this is super important, the reason why I split my investment is while I do hold a ton of Bitcoin, another great way for me to get exposure, I own what's called a TFSA. It's a tax-free savings account here in Canada. Any sort of investment income that you generate is tax-free. So I chose to also buy Mara stock in that TFSA account. I've chosen to buy Mara options as well, like I mentioned. And this is a fantastic way for me to make a lot of tax-free dollars, right? Especially if I believe in this. And what's happened is the price of Mara, it follows Bitcoin, but you have to think about it this way. Mara holds on their balance sheet a bunch of cash and a bunch of Bitcoin, right? It costs them a significant amount of money to make those Bitcoin, right? There's an energy investment. There's the investment to purchase those mining or those machines that sort of increase their hash rate, which is how fast they're able to mine Bitcoin. Keeping in mind that the more Bitcoin is mined, it's sort of like low-hanging fruit. You have these halving blocks, which sort of make it even harder and more expensive, and the algorithmic sort of computational power that's required to mine this Bitcoin is even harder. And don't forget, very soon there won't be enough Bitcoin left to mine, right? That's sort of the inevitably, like the finite amount of Bitcoin means at some point or another, we're going to run out of that. We're not sort of in fear of that right now. So Mara, which sort of is a fantastic stock, and let's see if I go through here. Mara actually has been doing fantastic. So if you look at Mara at the low point, I think it was sitting around like $5 or $3 back last summer, right? So this is December 22. It was sitting at $3 a share just 6 months ago, right? And that sort of corresponds to sort of Bitcoin low. You can sort of see like $5 a share back in February and March, and we have really taken off, right? It's almost like a leveraged Bitcoin investment because at a certain point, mining Bitcoin is not profitable. It's on the balance sheet, but so what? It costs more to make. But as the price of Bitcoin goes up, all the Bitcoin that they've mined, that they've held on to, its value increases, as well as their ability to mine Bitcoin and their future earnings as well, which is what gets priced in. So we've seen, and when I posted my last video on Mara, I had posted it a couple of days after I wanted to, but I think when I posted the video or I came on live, it was sitting around $13 a share, or $12 a share, right? That was June 27th. So if we go June 27th, that's like right here. So yeah, it's like $13, and this is also June 27th. So it's like $12 to $13. Since then, we've jumped another $4, right? So another 33% in the price of Mara to sort of get to 1650, 1670 today. And it sort of retraced a bit with the rest of the market. But this is fantastic, like in terms of sort of the growth trajectory. Even if Mara comes back down slightly, I am holding on to Mara until we sort of see Bitcoin around the $37,000 market minimum, at which point the Bitcoin price should be around $23 to $25. So I strongly believe in the short term we will see a Mara price of at least $20. And I'm buying a mix of shares and long-term options because even then, I want to sort of hold on to Mara for Mara to sort of go back to its all-time highs, right? At $69 a share, when Bitcoin was $69,000, that corresponded to a Mara price of $83. Can you imagine? From here, that's a 5x. It's a 5x on Mara's price, but only like a 2x in Bitcoin's price. So you can see here, like that's really why I've chosen to split my investment. I really want to own my own Bitcoin as well, which is why I keep sort of buying it. And I told my wife the same thing every paycheck, just sort of buy like at a minimum 0.01 Bitcoin. That's not a significant investment. We buy more and everything else like that, but it's for the long term, right? You want to buy some legacy, especially if the Bitcoin ETF gets approved. We're going to see all of this get mainstream. Financial advisors will start putting in people's portfolios as they do with gold and other sorts of assets. We want sort of Bitcoin to be realized as that sort of value as well. And what I think is fantastic about all of this is there is so much potential for Mara even going forward that I don't think, even if you're watching it right now, you're not too late. What I have been considering, in fact, is if Mara hits $14 to potentially go back and buy even more shares, right? Usually I wouldn't do that, but I'm just hyper bullish on Bitcoin and I'm okay. And this is sort of why I only put like 5 option contracts. I sort of capped my risk exposure in that because it was like 5 contracts at like $600 per, expiring December 2025. That gives me a lot of time. And if the worst case some situation happens and Bitcoin sort of goes down and sits there and whatever, I would lose basically 3K of that 20K that I put in. So sort of the risk versus reward for me is not that bad, right? But I also have the shares, which I'm going to hold long term like I would hold Bitcoin. So be it, right? One of the things that, if you're watching this video after the fact, you're probably wondering, why the hell am I posting at 2 a.m. Eastern time? Honestly, I have a really busy day tomorrow and I want to do another 2 or 3 videos as well over the weekend. So this is my way of just trying to slot this in. Like, honestly, as much as I love engaging with the chat, even if you guys aren't here, I'm sure you guys can sort of post in the comments after the fact. I just want to get out some content sort of for you guys to engage with, for you guys to sort of know, yeah, like here's my update on Marathon Digital Holdings. And I want to sort of do this more regularly so you can expect more video content from me. So I hope that explains sort of my sort of bullishness on Mara and Bitcoin. I'm investing in both. And I also want to give you an update. So on July 5th, which was, I think, Wednesday, they announced sort of like an earnings report, as well as they did an announcement for their Bitcoin production and mining operation update for June, right? So let's just quickly go over this, and let me just make this sort of bigger so you can read it. Let me just make sure. I always find it annoying when you can't read along. So the management said they produced 979 Bitcoin in June. Now, while that's not as great as it was in May, it's a 599% improvement from June 2022, which means it's like 6x more than they did in June, right? So, or like 7 times the amount from last June. The decreased production it had in June was due to weather-related curtailment in Texas and a significant decrease in transaction fees, which fell to approximately 5.1% of the total Bitcoin we earned in June compared to 11.8% in May. We also know there's been like the emergence of the ordinals, which is like the Bitcoin NFTs. They increased transaction fees in May, and while network congestion eased in June, these obviously are very good trends as a positive sign for mining economics. What's fantastic news for us, and this is sort of the thing we want to look at, is okay, their mining power, how is that improving, right? So in June, they increased their operational hash rate 16% month over month to 17.7 exahashes. I forget what exa is, but I just know that 16% context-wise is fantastic. They've also increased our installed hash rate 8% month over month to 21.8 exahashes. The final steps to achieving our 23 exahashes goal are in Ellendale, I don't know what ND is, and Garden City, Texas. That's not, maybe it's Nevada. I think Nevada is NV, but maybe someone in the comments below can say what state ND is. The final building in Ellendale is expected to come online this month, and final Garden City tie is also expected within the same period. So basically what Marathon Digital does is they sort of buy these Bitcoin miners and they install them in different warehouses, etc. To sort of, you don't want to have everything in one place, because if the energy shuts down there, then you have massive disruptions. You want to sort of spread, you want to diversify your mining operation. So you have tons of mining power sort of all being utilized, right? On top of that, they also announced a new joint venture in Dubai, or Abu Dhabi. And they began hashing earlier this week as the first containers of our Mina Zayed facility powered up. Speed of execution from ideation to production is a testament to Marathon's significant technological expertise and our growing team of mining professionals, right? So our United Arab Emirates partners at 02 have quickly bought into our vision to reality, bought our combined vision to reality. Expect the full 7.0 exahashes to be online before year-end 2023. This is why that despite sort of Bitcoin sort of retracing, we saw Mara's value going up, because the company is like, this is fantastic news. All things are positive, right? Not just Bitcoin, right? So look at it from this way, right? When you invest in Mara, you're investing in a couple of things. You're investing in the Bitcoin that they hold in their balance sheet. So obviously, as Bitcoin goes up, this is great. You're investing in their future production of Bitcoin, which is Bitcoin price going up is fantastic, but also how fast they're able to make it is another component of this. And this is positive news for that, right? So this is obviously fantastic. There are some sort of YouTubers who sort of talk down about Mara, and there is, I forget the kid's name. If I remember, I'll say it, but the kid is literally wrong about literally every stock he talks about. The guy got lucky once talking about Workhorse, and he makes videos sort of telling people to buy into stocks. And like, see, that's the other thing, right? You shouldn't tell people to buy into stuff. You should tell them what's going on, what you're doing. But I think the kid just wants sort of ads and sort of whatever, like views. Like, as you guys know, my views are in the 200s to 1,000 range. I'm making this content because I really want to support the community, and I want to get people into our Discord to sort of support them as well, right? For me, it's not about sort of making money on your guys on behalf of you guys. I make my money by making solid investments. And as a reminder, if you sort of want to get some extra help, sort of talk to some other people who are sort of like-minded, check out Spades Investing. It's our free public Discord. You can find it at discord.thebrownjet.com. We talk about all things stock market, talk about all things cryptocurrency, and we even have a smaller group for trading. Okay, so that's something that you can definitely consider. Going back to this operational highlights and updates, what we can see here is year over year they made 979 Bitcoin. This June, the period ending June 30th this year versus 140 last year. Absolutely absurd, right? At the same time, they're producing almost 33 Bitcoin a day on average versus the average of 5, right? Their exahashes is 17.7 versus 0.7 for operational and energized, and their installed hash rate is almost 22 versus 3.6. All of this is fantastic news. Sort of the thing that I do want to highlight here is in June, approximately 18,500 of marathons Bitcoin miners were energized at this new facility in Ellendale, and this growth was partially offset by 3,000 older generation miners being removed from service because their contract in that facility in Ohio has sort of expired, right? But because of all this, the company's operating fleet increased to approximately 149,900 Bitcoin miners, and this is sort of making up that 17.7 exahash per second rate. Right? Once all of these previously purchased miners are installed, approximately 66% of the hash rate is expected to be generated by the S19 XPs, which are approximately 30% more energy efficient as well. So this should reduce their costing. So if there's nothing else that I want you to take away from this video, right, is look at Bitcoin, ask yourself, are you bullish? Do you see Bitcoin going up? Now, you don't need to be a trader, right? Like I'm not trading Bitcoin so much. I was trading Bitcoin a couple of years ago when I saw the prices coming down and I wanted to sort of swing sort of some of these dips. Here, I'm just accumulating Bitcoin. I'm accumulating Bitcoin and I'm accumulating Mara. I haven't bought any new Mara shares or Mara Leaps since my last video, but I'm really starting, given that announcement on July 5th. I know Mara has gone up. I'm kind of hoping for a bit of a pullback. I know it's kind of weird to say that given that I'm up so much, but I just want to add to my position because I believe long term. I really think that this is a golden goose egg. And I would love for all of you, if you're interested, and I don't know why I put the wrong man, it's so awkward. I didn't realize that the ticker that I put was a ticker for another live stream thing that I use this account for. But remember, do your own research, do your own due diligence. I would love to hear what you think. Do you think Mara is a fantastic investment? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear from you. Like I said, not financial advice. I'm sharing my sort of journey. I believe Mara is going to break all-time highs. I believe in the next few weeks, we could see a Mara price over $20. And I believe when Bitcoin hits its all-time high, Mara is going to be over $100. I just can't wait for all of this to happen. Anyways, that's all for this video. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Check out sort of all of the content. What am I doing here? Sorry, it is so late. I don't know why I got rid of sort of my background and everything else. I'm using sort of, once again, another stream's background. But follow the socials that you see above. And hopefully the next time I make a video, I'm sort of more aware of sort of my streaming setup and what I'm doing. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.